Hello, friends. Day 5 of week 2. You've made it 2 weeks through. How are you feeling? Are you loving it so far? It's been more of a fun week than it has been deep. I think the first week was super deep. So we are ending this week, this prepare week, talking about budgeting in our business. And this is going to be a pretty short video because I can tell you I am not good at budgeting. Plain and simple. I'm just not good at it. And so it's something that I am personally growing in and tracking my expenses and really finding that balance. We talk a lot about, even in recognition yesterday, we talked about how you need to put money into your business to make money. And when you're not making huge paychecks and you're wanting your paychecks to really support your family and your lifestyle, it's really hard to think of how much you should put back into your business. So I kind of really want you to start, and the very first task that I'm going to have you do from today is you're going to make a list of every business expense that you can think of that you would possibly have. This could be a very exhaustive list. But here's why you're going to do that. Because I want you to make a plan. Because when you have unexpected expenses, you need to be able to have some money reserves in order to be able to pay for those, right? Like that's just life. That's what savings accounts are for too. So, thinking about back to my business when I started, I had a kind of a really good rule of thumb that 10% of my paycheck was going to go back into my business. And I think that is a really good rule of thumb to start off with. And when I talk about this, your Scentsy Club members, those of you that are Scentsy Club members, let's not include that in the budget because I know they're probably growing because of everything amazing that's discontinuing. So I would not necessarily count that as a business expense on this end. But I'm talking about, all your subscriptions that you have for your business, all your supplies that you need, all those types of things. Those are the things I want you to start making a list about. And then thinking about what percentage you should be putting back into your business a month. And include in there what you have decided from yesterday about team recognition. How much do you think that on average is going to cost you a month? And put that in there. When your business grows and your paychecks grow, then you're going to be able to allow that percentage to grow too as well. There's going to be a time that you come to your business that you're going to have to say, I'm going to have to set some aside for taxes. And though I'm not any legal person to share any legal tax advice to you at all, I would say that you're probably far down the road from that. It is a good rule of thumb to save 10% of your sales or 10% of your paycheck. When you start hitting about $1,500 to $2,000 in your paychecks a month, when that becomes consistent, it's a great, just a rule of thumb to save that 10% aside. And you know what? In the end, if it's something that you don't need, then you have that saved as well too. So, in our business, I started out saving 10% aside and putting that towards business stuff. We always like to tithe for our church as well. So we try to be consistent in that too as well. But making a list and understanding that we want you to spend Scentsy money on Scentsy. We don't want you to spend family money on Scentsy. Does that make sense? Just think about that for a minute. I don't want you to have to spend money on Scentsy and on your business that you haven't made from Scentsy. because that money should be going towards your family. That money should be going towards getting your family to that big why, right? So if you're planning out and you're setting aside whatever percentage you decide, so looking at that list, you're going to add up all of that list that you're making, and you're going to then decide what percentage of that does that look like for your paycheck. So if you added up everything together and it was $200 total, and you have a $1,000 paycheck, so that's 20%, right? That you are needing to set aside for your business. I think that math was right. I think so, right? I don't know. Yeah, I think so. And so that's what you need to start thinking about and preparing for. And you can set your Scentsy pay portal up for that. I set my pay portal up where 10% of my paycheck stays right in my pay portal. The other 90% gets put to our checking account. But that 10% is then things that I can look at and say, this is what I need to spend on my Scentsy business, and so on and so on. Okay, taxes, whatever, whatever I decide that's what needs to go on. So when you have a clear idea and when you have a budget, I think it makes things flow easily, and you're able to see that, this is actual income that I'm taking home, and this is going to my family, and this is going back into my business. Because as your business grows, you're going to have to be investing, money into your business. There's not a business that starts out that is not invested in, or that has investors putting money into it, right? And so you have to be that investor for your business. But it can't be so much so that you're putting thousands of dollars into it right at the beginning and you're seeing no reward. That is not what we want. Scentsy asks you for a minimum of $99, for a maximum of $99 to sign up. So we're only asking you to set aside $100 to start this business, right? And I always tell my new recruits, and I try to always remember this, to tell them, I don't want you to save any money until you have that $100 back in your pocket. Then once you have that $100 back in your pocket, then that's when you start putting aside the 10%. Okay? So budgeting, it's not fun. I hate budgeting. I wish I didn't have to, but it's necessary. It's necessary to understand what you need in order to grow, okay? If you have any budgeting systems that you're already using, any tracking systems of expenses or whatever, post those below. I think I have a couple that I will post below too as well in the comments too. But here's what I want to see in the list. What are you spending your money on each month? So what apps, what subscriptions, what recognition, whatever you're spending your money on each month, I would love for you to comment below, starting that list too, so that other people can see that list as well, and we can just share and have great conversation going back and forth in the comments about that too as well. So, all right, you're done with week 2. How do you feel about that? Yes, down to only 4 more to go. How much have you grown so far? How much have your eyes been opened to what your business looks like now and what it needs to look like in the future? Okay? Gear up, enjoy your weekend, and get ready for week 3. We'll see you on Monday.